Yeah, just turn that over.
Oh, it says we're live.
Hiya. All right.
What's up?
Can I get your beer?
Oh, man.
So how many of you guys have seen this game? I'm calling it a game.
I'm not looking forward to this. I found out 20 minutes ago that I was going to be experimented on. So we'll see how this goes. Someone has been watching too much TikTok.
You gotta open it.
Oh, I have to open it.
You ready?
So I'll let you describe what you're doing right now.
I don't need to describe it.
Oh, man.
You ready?
Sure.
Feel that?
Not
Ready?
yet. Yeah. Oh, okay. I can deal with that. I can still drink.
You're not supposed to put it down.
Oh, let's make him a finger drop.
You're supposed to hold it.
All right, wait. Stop.
Okay.
So can you turn it down just a second? Just give me a second. It made this finger curl up,
Well,
man.
you're supposed to hold
on. I'll do better.
Hold it.
Give me a minute. Man, you ain't over here doing this. No.
No, put it back in your hand. You gotta wait and hold it out until I go, and then you can get ready to drink it. Ready?
Okay. Stop. It's gonna it's so bad. Turn it off. All right.
You still haven't drank it. No, that doesn't count. You gotta hold it in your left hand. Okay, are you ready?
No, it made my ears burn. All right.
Now
are there people watching?
I hope so.
Damn, there are people watching.
Put Mountain Dew in your beer.
crap.
All right, ready? Okay.
Oof.
Okay, you ready?
No.
We're gonna try this one more time.
No, I
So we
don't want to
get
do
started.
it one time. All right.
All right, ready?
Yep. It's easy. I can do that one.
The whole point.
I don't want to drop it.
The whole...
Stop it. Turn it off. Turn it off.
I'm trying.
Oh, Jesus. It made this muscle in the back of my head hurt.
Well, you're supposed to drink it. You still have yet to drink it.
I'm going to put it on you.
No.
Yeah.
All right. So should we do it one more time? One more time.
Nobody's saying one more time, babe. You're making that shit up.
No, they all said one more time.
Nobody said that.
Like, yeah.
Literally no one in the comments said do that one more time.
Yes, they need it.
No,
yes. Look,
you
all
sons
of them.
of bitches.
You got one friend on here.
No.
One. Okay, here we go. Somebody said 3 times.
What?
See? Put it back in your hand.
What the hell?
You literally have to drink it while it's happening. The whole point is
so if I can make it while it's happening, we're done.
Yes.
No more of this shit.
Yes.
And when I say turn it off, you're literally going to turn it off. You're not going to be like,
yes. All right, you ready? All right, so here we go. You got to drink it. Drink it. Good job.
Look at that. Look what it does to that finger.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so bad. And now, you know what? That tastes like piss. Because apparently I shook the hell out of it. Look, the dog thinks you killed me.
He's worried.
Hey, buddy, we're good. Mom's just evil.
All right, guys. Welcome to the channel, and thanks for tuning in tonight. We got a lot of fun stuff happening. If you hadn't already noticed, I'm crying over here.
I'm going to slide it closer.
Somebody asked.
I can't see what you're saying.
Ask a little bit earlier. This is Donna. So if you have been with us since the beginning of the channel, you would know that. Go back, and she made an appearance a long time ago. So we have just pulled her out of storage because guess what? It's time for her to go to Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion. It's our first time going to Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion.
First time, pop the cherry.
Next weekend. So we're going to be taking Donna with us. So you need a drink after that.
I'm not using this hand. This finger, it's not.
Oh.
You're messed up.
That's a problem. All right.
So
tonight we are going to be giving away a worn winch. This is being sponsored by Outlaw Off-Road of Charlotte. So big thank you to those guys. Be sure to give them a shout out and thank them for participating in our live tonight. Toast up, everybody. Tell us in the comments what you're drinking so that we know. Tonight, we are popping open our friends over at Moonjoy Meadery, and this is Loki's Blood. I've had this one tucked away for quite some time because it is very difficult to get. So
since we're horny, we're drinking out of our horns. So I think there's some shit in my horn. Did you not wash these horns?
No, I didn't.
What the So you shock me and give me dirty horns.
Hey, it works. You know, it's good for your immune system. So
Yeah.
and again, if you've never heard of Moonjoy Meadery, they do ship nationwide now, almost all states. So be sure to jump online and give them a follow and show them some love and get your meat. So tell us what you guys are drinking in the comments. Tito's with Pepsi, Corona, Bush, and with a lime shot. Hornitos, Jamaican Cowboy. Stephen, what is a Jamaican Cowboy? We don't even know what that is. Tell us in the comments. Natural Light, yes. Water, oh, come on, mama. Do better than that. You got some wine over there. Open one of those up. Miller Lite, that's my buddy right there. Miller Lite, that's my jam. All right.
Miller Lite tastes like water piss.
I know, but it's so good and it's so easy and it's cheap.
Spartan Overland said they're in the welding.
Root beer and rum. Now that, I'm not typically a root beer person, but I mean, I think that's something we could probably get behind. All right. So again, welcome to the channel and thanks for tuning in for our first virtual happy hour. And we decided to do this because we have a ton of new people on the channel and a lot of new subscribers. And we just wanted to kind of get on here and spend some time. You know, we have so many videos, and unless you go way back to the beginning to really learn who we are, then you may not know who we are, where we're from, and how we got started. So
why we play with blow-up dolls.
I know. Why do we play with baby dolls?
Well, first off, you called this happy hour, and there's nothing about it so far that's made me happy. Like,
I mean,
no part of this.
My night is complete at this point. I'm crying.
Well, good, because that's going to be the rest of your life with me, because I'm drinking Lint and Fuzz.
You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. So, tell them.
See? Like, legit, I told you. I'm not drinking that. I'll drink
Would
out
you
of
like mine?
No, you didn't wash yours either. I see hair all over it. I'm going to wash this out. You keep talking to him while I go wash my shit out because you didn't do your job.
I didn't do my womanly duties and wash that shit out. All right. So, where did we get started? But I kind of wanted you to start with this one. Well, so I'll talk to the people in the comments. Tequila, new from North Carolina. Hey, John, welcome to the channel. Love the FJB shirt represent. Yeah, Joe Black, appreciate your love. Watching from the campsite, FMC Overland. What campsite are you guys at? That sounds like a great time. Maker's Mark shortly. Sugar-free margaritas. Yum. See, exactly. Thank you, Jamie. A little fuzz won't hurt anybody. It makes you tough, man.
It tickles my lip.
I thought you liked that.
I don't like any fuzz on my lip.
Roxanne Mudd. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back. Kerr Lake. Yeah, FMC. Good place to be. Doug and Ty from Kentucky. Welcome, guys. What do you think about your 37s? Oh, yeah, we're going to get to that. So hold that question. Mike, Holly, thanks for joining us. Greensboro, Mom, hi. You're pretty far away. You're not even at home. What's your favorite place to off-road? That's a great question as well. So we're going to come back to that too. So you guys keep the questions coming.
You don't even know an answer to that.
Yes, I do. Of course I do. All right. So what's going to happen is we're going to kind of just give you guys, anybody that's new, we're going to give a rundown of our story, how the channel started, where we came from. And then we're going to go through the questions. And then at the end, we will tell you how to qualify to win the Worn Witch. So be sure to stay tuned. And babe,
how
did we start?
Well, a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, there was a droid, right? This gets a little weird. No, so Kim had a little Ricer race car, a little Nissan Juke. Turbo, she loved it. We had, tuned and 3-inch turbo downpipes and all that stuff. It was super fast. And it was her baby, first car she's ever liked. Then someone that was looking for his cigarettes in the floorboard in a big work truck, rear ender going like 70 miles an hour. So it actually pushed the rear tires up under her driver's seat, snapped her headrest in half. Luckily, you see all this thickness here. This one used to be a bodybuilder and she still does powerlifting. So luckily the doctor said because her traps and rhomboids were so thick, they made a little shield around her spine or that wreck would have broke her neck. So after that happened, I was like, screw this. We're not getting you a small car ever again. I want something that's so big that everybody's going to see you. And so she said, I've kind of always thought Jeeps were cool. And I was never really a Jeep fan. I wasn't really into it. Whatever. So we went and we found her one. And the great thing about it is I had this stock Rubicon picked out. And I was like, that's the one.
2017.
2017 stock Rubicon JK, and she saw this 2012 that was all modified. It was on 35s already, had nice wheels and tires, front and rear bumpers, winch. It had all the basics. Yeah, it had a lift on it. So she was like, I want this one because it's done. And I won't have to worry about buying things and picking out stuff. It's done. And it's never going to get dirty. And 2 weeks later, we run into, that's why I'm wearing this shirt, because this was the first Jeep club that we ever became a part of, the Foothills Jeep Brigade. They're local here in North Carolina. So they were doing a little ride convoy, and we had never done anything like that. And so we jumped in it. And, the first time you get in a line of 30 Jeeps going down the road, it's the coolest thing ever. And, especially if you got police escorts and you're blowing through red lights, you feel like the shit. So she fell in love with those convoys. And so the next meet they had was, hey, we're going to an off-road park at Patriot Mountain. First off, we had never put the Jeep in four-wheel drive, never used the winch, never seen a vehicle recovery, nothing. So she's in the middle, and we started, and it had been raining, so it was really, really muddy. And she is immediately terrified. She said, I want out. I want out right now.
The two dudes in front of me, they had been wheeling many, many times. And what they did is there was that it wasn't even the real trail that we were supposed to be going on. And so what they did is they went straight up. And when they went straight up, I had 12 other people behind me, 10 or 12 other people behind me. And I said, nope. Just like a ride at Carowinds, I said, I want off now. I was like, this was a big mistake. Just get me out of here. And he's like, babe, there's no turning back. You don't get off this ride. You just go. I mean, to the point that I almost made him get in the driver's seat and drive because I was so nervous and it freaked me out so badly. So,
no, you're doing great.
So
I'm over here enjoying my meat now. Keep going, girl.
So I actually got up and what happened was there was another Jeep from behind that came in front of me, and he took me down a different trail and then got me used to off-roading. And from that point, I was hooked. Absolutely fell in love with it. And fast forward to
spoiler report, that Jeep wasn't done. No, we pretty much changed every single thing about it. Sometimes twice.
Sometimes twice. So, for sure. But I mean, the next, let's see, fast forward to the 4th of July.
So, I said that the great thing is I never would have thought a vehicle could change our life, but a vehicle 100% changed the entire trajectory of our life. We've always had a love for law enforcement, and, I was a personal trainer, and then she was a personal trainer. So we were always helping and training with some law enforcement officers and things like that. So we've always had a big love for them. And there was a political climate at the time that was really coming down hard on law enforcement, and we were just sick of it. And so one of the first rides that we went on was a 4th of July ride to raise money for the DARE program. Well, so when we showed up, we thought this thing was going to be huge because it was at the 4th, and there was only about 15, 20 Jeeps, and it was all Jeeps. Nobody else showed up but Jeepers.
It was just our Jeep club, yeah.
So I think they raised about $400 for the DARE program, which was great. But what really, really bothered us is when we got to the sheriff's department to deliver the money, someone said, the guy who had started the ride, I think it was Freddie Coffey, said, I reached out to the local newspapers, and they said this was too controversial to cover. And when we heard that, we were so pissed. And so we've always had a pretty good social media network from doing animal rescue for so long and different things like that. So we were like, you know what, let's put together a ride. And I want it to be so big, the news, has to see it. The people have to notice it. And of course, this was right near the pandemic had just started. So our anniversary was the only weekend that we were free. And so it was 6 weeks away, and we thought, screw it. Let's put this together. And so half the money was going to go to DARE, and half the money was going to go to NC Cops, which is Concerns of Police Survivors.
Yeah. And so we literally sat in this exact same spot, and in less than 6 weeks, we put this major event together.
We had tons of volunteers. We just wanted to raise $3,000-$4,000.
Yeah. And honestly, we thought that we may have about 50 vehicles show up. We were going to do a ride from point A to point B and pack it up and go home. And that was just kind of the thought. As this event started to progress, then what happened was we noticed that, holy crap, all this money started coming in. Within that first week, we actually had someone reach out and wanted to sponsor, and immediately donated $5,000 to be a major sponsor. From that point, it just snowballed. It just kept going and going and going. And so before we knew it, all this money was coming in, and I looked at him and I said, we're going to have to set up a nonprofit. This is not just let's take a handful of, or an envelope full of cash and turn it over. There's a lot of money coming in. So we set up the nonprofit, and it was Back the Blue from Caldwell. At that point, we had folks messaging us from all over the Southeast that said they were going to come and participate in the ride. Then, because we had people coming from all over, we thought, well, you know, it's kind of rude to just have a ride and then be like, okay, that's it, time to go home. So it turned into an after party. So then we had the ride, and then we Rooster Bush in Caldwell County, Barbara Bush was really awesome and provided us with a space. So the ride ended up going from Catawba County to Caldwell County, and then ending at Rooster Bush, which was then an after party. We had 4 or 5 bands that signed up to volunteer and to participate. All in all, it was just it just all came together so beautifully and so quickly.
So from that, long story short, we basically, because of a Jeep,
yes,
we started a nonprofit for law enforcement. And so we've had 2 successful events in 2 years, raised over $60,000. Well, but we've only done, 3 events.
Yeah,
in 3 events, we've raised over $60,000 for the DARE program and NC Cops. So that's been great. Would have never happened without the Jeep, I promise.
Yeah.
And one of the cool things, this is our YouTube origin. So if we were like fatter version of Spider-Man, basically that's how we started. When we put that event together, we had a company out of Fayetteville, North Carolina called GearReport.com. They are a review company. Basically, they review everything. They have a camping version, they have boats, they have hiking versions. So they review everything, and it's typically mostly off retired military, retired police, people like that do this. And so he heard about this event, and he said, hey, I want to come down, and I'd love to come down and take some pictures and maybe do some video for our YouTube channel. You know, would you guys be interested? So we were like, sure, absolutely. You know, any publicity is great publicity. So one thing that we started doing, you know, we don't have kids. You know, that's as close to a kid as we got. So we've got nobody in our life to be ashamed of us. You know, we know our parents, what they think. So when we're on live, we're typically very candid. I think I've been thrown off Facebook probably 50 times. I don't know. But so we're very candid. And so even with the charity, even though it was a serious matter, we still kept it light, kept it fun, joked. I still have a mouth like a sailor. I can't rein it in. I just can't. So Jeff, the guy who runs Gear Report, was like, you know, you and your wife have a really good camera presence, you know. And at this point, we had started on our own naked camping. That's what we called it. We would get in the Jeep. This was before we were overlanders or anything that. We would get in the Jeep. We had some pop-up hammocks that we would lay out, and we would go into the woods on Friday, take our clothes off, and wouldn't put them back on until Sunday when we left. And so that we were having a blast doing that. And so he said, you know, would you guys ever think of doing a YouTube channel or doing an event, not an event, doing a review on some products? And we were like, I mean, I guess. And he said, well, what if I just send you a couple products for you guys to use in the woods, film it. If you like them, great. You know, just be honest. So we actually did that. We went into the woods on a naked camping trip. I actually had to put on a shirt for the YouTube video. I was not wearing pants or underwear. I promise you, there was no pants or underwear in that review. So she had to be careful.
From up
top. She had to record very, very carefully because I refused. I was like, no, I'll put a shirt on, but that's it because ain't nobody wants to see that. But Gear Report. We were just talking about you,
Jeff.
Your ears ringing. So what we did is we did review of 2 products, but I'll be honest, there was a lot of this involved. And so we thought the reviews were horrible. I barely knew how to edit. I mean, we rambled like we're doing now. And I thought they were horrible, but Jeff actually liked them. You know, he said, you know, this is neat. It's different. You know, I've got, you know, everybody can spout off some specs and diagrams and tell you how this does what it does. But you guys are like, what the fuck is this thing? I don't know. How do you use it? Who the hell knows? And
we made a lot of mistakes. Every time we do a review, we make mistakes.
Yeah, there's so many. And so so it turns out that's what some people like. So we were like, okay, let's do that. And so we predominantly got started doing YouTube reviews. And so then as our naked camping progressed into a more overland family friendly style, and we started adding more gear, then we thought, well, you know what? We have a ball on these adventures, and there's some people that don't have time to get out or can't because of other obligations. So let's show what we do. And hell, there's actually some of you people that like it, apparently. So thanks.
So yeah, so that is how our YouTube channel came about. That's how why we started a YouTube channel, is because we were, we got the Jeep. We started doing reviews. The overlanding videos, I say all the time that one of us is going to end up with Alzheimer's at some point. So at least the videos are a great way for us to look back and have those memories. And then let's move on to, so that's how the YouTube channel came about. That's how the Jeep changed our life. So let's move on to, I guess, some of the questions that people have asked. Let's talk about Bella. So I think I had seen, how did we get the name for Belladonna, or for Bella? Is I just love the word. I mean, I have this knack, and I do this as well with all of the dogs we've ever had. When I look at them, I just see a look, and there we go. And that's exactly, Bella had her name before we even left the lot. It was Belladonna. Belladonna makes your heart race. If you know anything about the real Belladonna, it makes your heart race. And
is that why I'm cockopotamus?
It's not why you're cockopotamus. But it makes your heart race, and it causes palpitations, and if you don't watch out, she'll kill you. So that's how Belladonna came about. And so she already had her name Belladonna and Bella, and then we went to Pigeon Forge at a Jeep event, our first Topless in the Smokies event, and we had seen a lot of people riding with mascots on their Jeeps, or in their Jeeps, and we were like, well, hell, we need a mascot. And so we had just been walking around the stores in Pigeon Forge. What stores? All the stores.
What store?
And Jeremy says, hey, there was a blow-up doll in that adult store that we were at.
How would I know that? Were we already in the adult store?
You were damn moseying around. I had to pull you out of there.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay. We walked straight in that adult store.
Tell them about the experience, though, in the adult store.
So
I drop him off at the because I'm circling the block. Okay, so I drop him off to go get this blow-up doll, which is going to be our mascot.
So let's be honest. So basically, we're in this adult store, and we walk out, and we see people with Elmo and all that shit in the back, and I'm like, maybe there was a blow-up doll back there that was cheap. Well, I assume cheap because of the packaging. I was wrong. So she drops me back off to go back in to get the blow-up doll. So now I'm not a couple. Now I'm just a dude walking in to get a blow-up doll. And so as I get this blow-up doll, and I'm taking it up there, the lady was like, you don't want that one. And I was like, huh?
Yeah.
She was like, you don't want that one. It don't feel real. I was like, I'm not gonna use this. She was like, let me show you something else. So then she brings out this bad boy with a box.
A bad girl.
Yeah. It was a Bonnie Rotten replica. First off, y'all don't know Bonnie Rotten, check her out. Either way, it was a Bonnie Rotten replica. She's like, this one's typically $250, but I can give it to you for $200. And I was like, I'm totally fine with this one. And she was like, I'm telling you, you will regret it. If you buy this one, I was like, I'm really not using this. And she was like, okay. Good. This little bitch was $69. $69. What's all over her?
She's always got stuff on her.
Man, she is. I wasn't fondling. But so anyway, so
that's
we got
the
Donna.
Story of Donna, and so now she has been. She's got big lips. So actually, she has no lips. She just has a big mouth, Jamie.
She has a big hole.
She has a big hole in her
Dude,
mouth.
You're gonna have to open your computer and
at least it was 69.
Yeah, right. I thought that was perfect.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So I think that anything else we want to add about our story, and I can kind of start going through some of these comments.
Right, so let's start answering some questions.
So let's see. Thanks for the love. Welcome from Rock Hill. All right. So was that a question? So let's see. Is that Don? I've had Donna in the back of my Jeep. Have you now, Gunsmoke?
Yeah, that's Jamie.
Mm.
Yeah, we know he has.
Hey, but here's the thing. Her holes are still intact, buddy. So
Yes,
apparently you weren't very good.
She's unbroken.
It was so funny when I was dressing her today. He was like, I thought she had holes. I said, she does have holes. And he was like, oh, but they just haven't been burst. So we're fortunate. She's still clean.
Guys,
Still
we
clean.
only expected like 4 of you to be on this thing tonight. I wasn't expecting to have these many comments to go through.
All right, so you guys can go ahead and start posting your questions, and then I'm going through those now. Met you two at the ride. 2 weeks to plan, 6 weeks to plan, actually, AIs. Yeah, thank you so much for the love.
Thank you.
Yep, that's definitely something we're passionate about. Custom sneakers. Hey, we'd love to have a pair of custom sneakers. Tri-State Jeeps. Absolutely. I don't know if you know this, but for those of you that don't, I'm a certified personal trainer. And so I'm in the gym usually 4 days a week training clients. And so I'd love some custom sneakers.
Chuck Taylor Converse is her jam.
Yep, that is my jam. Absolutely. Yeah, hit us up. We'd love to sport your stuff for sure. Let's see. I mean, you know, we're okay, Jamie. I don't know if we're fun. I mean, we make a lot of fun at each other. Yeah, but yeah,
we're only fun on videos. When we turn this off, we're gonna be playing Parcheesi, watching the Golden Girls.
For sure. Non-filtered. You know, here's the thing, loose to live outdoors. Yeah, it may be refreshing, but I'm telling you, we walk a fine line. If I'll be completely honest with you, we actually lost our YouTube channel about a month or so ago, and we had to fight tooth and nail to get it back. So yeah, so it's a fine line.
Yeah, we got demonetized for 30 days, had to reapply.
So yeah, we're back in good standing. So we're kind of watching our P's and Q's when we're starting an OnlyFans page. Funny you should say that, Douglas.
Remember, your mom's on here.
Funny you should say that.
Never.
This one
never
says like I'm a year past due of that. So I don't know.
That is not true.
I don't know.
First off,
a map of good naked camping spots. All right, Charles. So here's the deal with the naked spots. It's we don't even have a map of that. What happens is we just kind of do it, and we kind of strategically place our equipment so that we're hidden as best as we possibly can. So yeah, that's kind of how that goes down.
I'll be honest, it's really one of those things. Here's what happened when we started doing it. I literally reached out to law enforcement and I said, look, if you don't have a record, how bad is it if you roll up on a campsite and somebody's naked?
Yeah.
And he said it depends on where it's located
and what's happening.
Yeah, and what the what's going on. So I took that as a better to ask forgiveness than permission kind of thing.
David, you asked what about his Jeep? All right, so tell us about Lagatha.
So
how Lagatha came about.
So basically, I told you I wasn't really into Jeeps. I never cared for a Jeep. Well, I am addicted to shopping. So once she got hers, I started shopping for her Jeep shit all the time. And I was like, at that time, I had a little Hummer H3 Alpha that was bone stock. Now, I loved it because it had the V8. But if you ever had a Hummer H3, there's all kinds of little prone issues that it has that I just finally got tired of. And I was like, you know what? I love customizing her Jeep. I love going off-road. I'm going to get a Jeep. So about, 9 months after you got yours?
Yeah, you got yours. I got mine in March, and he got his in November.
So I bought mine. Now, you guys don't know, but I travel a lot for work. When it's busy season, I'm in a different state every week. So my Jeep is mainly a road princess. And I'll tell you the reason for that is because this one has extreme motion sickness. So if she's not driving, I can literally drive a few curvy roads and she'll be like, bleh. So if you ever remember our intro shows some helicopter footage where we're strafing sideways and things like that. What it doesn't show is that immediately after that, she was thrown up in a bag for 30 minutes.
Yeah, we took the helicopter into the Grand Canyon, and it was an amazing experience. But yeah,
she hated.
I mean, I'm glad that I got to do it. Not interested in ever doing it again. Even as beautiful and as amazing as it was, we were actually really good. The pilot, I mean, she was doing really well, and I was looking around. But then somebody seen some damn wild horses, and they thought we needed to nosedive that helicopter after these damn wild horses.
So she did like an airwolf move,
and I was like, bleh! And I was like, give me the bag, and it was over.
So since Kim gets extreme motion sickness, she's totally fine if she's driving.
Yeah.
So when we go overlanding, typically it's in her Jeep so she can drive and she's not sick. If it's something local, I'll take my Jeep. Like you'll see Tuesday, we'll have a video coming out where we do a shakedown run at Brown Mountain OHV Park. And so since it's local, I took my Jeep as well.
Yeah.
So mine's not as customized as hers. It's only a little 2-inch lift, 2.5-inch AEV dual sport lift. I took her hand-me-down 35s because she had just bought them about 8 months ago.
Yeah, I guess let's tell them the story that somebody did ask about the 37s. Why did you get 37s or something like that? And I haven't got to that question yet. But the story with that is, so Outlaw Off-Road, or we had it. Okay, so let's back up. So let's tell that story. So we had a ton of issues with, we had installed some new wheels, new tires, new steering components, tie rod, drag link, ball joints, and beadlocks. And so that happened back in January. And we did it all at once. And when I drove it, it drove like absolute shit. Well, when you do all of that at once, it's kind of hard to say, okay, what's the problem? Where's the issue? We went through multiple shops. We went through multiple changes of things, all this kind of jazz. So but after 7 months, 7 months of just absolute shit with this drivability, somebody had told us that it was the bead locks that was the problem. So we actually sold the bead locks, and I put just some KMCs on there. So but even after that, it still drove like shit, and it was dangerous, very, very dangerous. So finally, we live in, for those that don't know, we live in Lenore, North Carolina. And Jeremy had been begging me to take it to Outlaw Off-Road, but Outlaw Off-Road was more than an hour away, no matter which Outlaw Off-Road we decided to go to. I finally trusted Jeremy to make that jump. And actually and the real reason is I was actually going to be in Charlotte that week. And, Josh said, bring it down. Let's take a look at it. So I made the trip over there. Josh was amazing at Outlaw Off-Road in Charlotte. Because other people had told me that I needed to take the tie rod and drag link off. And you
needed to sell the bead locks.
And I needed to sell the bead locks. And so all of these things that all these people have paid big money for, they were telling me, oh, nope, that's the problem. So I'd already sold the bead locks, already changed those out. So the next thing, somebody told me to take the tie rod and drag link. Josh said, here's the deal. Let me look at it. Let me assess it. He said, I don't want you to have to pay for something that you don't necessarily have to pay for. He said, you've already paid for this. He said, let's try to fix it. He took it out, or he took a look at it. In less than an hour, he identified that the geometry was off significantly. And it was a quick fix, less than an hour. Got in, fixed it. It was just amazing. So
night and day.
Yeah.
With no new parts.
No new parts.
Fixed it with no new parts.
Let me keep my shit. Didn't try to sell me new shit. Just said, Kim, this is it. This is the problem. And he adjusted it. After that, fell in love with Outlaw Off-Road and what they did for us. And so I said, okay, well, now here's the next thing is I have no intentions of getting bigger axles. I have no intentions of getting bigger wheels or tires. I have no intentions. I want to keep my 35s, keep my axles. I said, however, we do off-roading and I need to make sure that my stock axles can do the things that we do. We're primarily overlanders first, off-roading second. Excuse me. And so he said, I recommend trussing it, the front axle. I said, all right, cool. We got the price for that. Excellent. Took it back in a couple of weeks later for him to do the trussing and also to change out my track bar because that was off a little bit. And I said, listen, while you've got it in there, we're heading out to Utah and Colorado for 16 days. I said, if you don't mind, I said, do a complete look over. Go in, change the diff oil because I'd been through several off-roading trips and gone through water. So let's go ahead and get that changed out. Look it over, identify anything that you think could potentially cause a problem. He calls me up. He's just heartbroken over having to make this call, first of all. And you could tell that he was just like dreading it. But he made the call and he said, hey, listen, your rear gears are shredded. They're just that in the pinion.
Yeah, the pinion and the gears.
The pinion and the gears was completely shredded. So this is where we had to make a major decision. We could pay to put the same gears back into it and take the chance of, number one, shredding them again within a year or so with our off-roading because those are stock and, we're doing things more than what a stock Jeep should do. Number two, we could put new gears, 456 or 488 in the front or in the rear. And it wasn't going to be that much more to do that. if I had stayed with the stock, then, you know, how long before the front gears go out? So it was like, okay, so which do we do? And he said, well, if you ever plan to go to 37s, you might as well go to 488. And I said, well, I don't plan to anytime soon. But I said, he's like, but if you don't, the 456, you're stuck at 35s, period. So we had already planned on putting a new set of 35s on Jeremy's Jeep in October because his tires were wearing down. And so we were going to change those out. And so that's how the 37s came about. He needed new tires. I went with 37s.
I guess going back to the whole situation, and this is something that's important to me, and I wanted to put it through the YouTube video that we did about it. I really wanted to get it through. You know, there's a difference between an off-road shop and a mechanic. Mechanics are phenomenal. They're great for everyday maintenance and changes and things like that. But when you're adjusting the geometry and the build of your vehicle for off-roading, go to an off-road shop, because we would have saved ourselves 8 months of dangerous driving and 26. Well, I was going to say 2,700. What I thought. How much was it?
About $5,000.
It would have saved us a ton of money in new parts that we didn't need. The reason we took it is because if you guys are new to our channel, you don't know that we're getting ready to spend 16 days in Colorado, Utah, and New Mexico. And we don't do it in an overlanding tent or anything like that. We sleep in our Jeep Wrangler. I'm 6'1", 270 pounds, and we still fit. We've got a custom built sleeping platform that her dad built. Holds all of our gear underneath. We have a pull-out kitchen. We have a refrigerator, storage gear, portable power station, and an awning that turns into an 8x8 room so that I can poop in private. But that's how we go. And so we are leaving. Somebody asked if we were going to Jeep Invasion. Yes. This will be our first year.
Jeep Invasion. Yeah, it's our first year. The last 2 years, we've had the Back the Blue event on the same weekend, which is also our anniversary weekend. So this is going to be our first year at Jeep Invasion. So we're super excited about that.
And we're going straight from there.
Yes, Sunday morning. Yep, we're leaving Sunday morning from Invasion and heading to Colorado. Absolutely. So yeah, that was the next question. And then I asked you about your tank tops. I love your tops. Oh, thanks, Jamie. I'm not sure which ones, because I get them a little bit everywhere. Honestly, if I'm being really honest, like this top, for instance, the big guy bought it on Amazon. He shops for me more than I shop for myself. He's like, oh, you'd look hot in this, so let's do it. So that's how that kind of comes about. So if you really want to know where that comes from, you probably ask him. He can figure it out.
This one is actually an Amazon.
It is an Amazon find.
So,
Amazon, yeah.
Boom.
Super comfy. Little Rampage, how long have y'all been together and how did y'all meet? We have been together for 12 years and we met in the gym. Yeah. There you go.
She was actually squatting at the squat rack in some leggings. And I just remember looking at that big old booty. And
what was it you called me?
Well, here's the thing. I overheard her talking about dressing up as Princess Leia. So at that moment, she was powerlifting and talking about Star Wars. So I was like, swing. So I called her a unicorn. I was like, you're just like a fucking unicorn. So that's why we got the unicorn.
That's why we have that tattoo. Yep. So there's that answer. All right. So let's see. Our favorite off-roading spot. I loved Windrock.
Yeah, Windrock, as far as just off-roading park.
The park, it's like, yeah, the experience. Oh, but
Windrock. But let me tell you, my favorite trip to date, period, of all the things we've ever done, the trip that made me fall in love with overlanding and fall in love with the adrenaline rush of not knowing what's ahead was Spartan Overland planned a trip through the Allegheny Mountains.
Yes. Yeah.
And
I have to agree with that.
called it the Allegheny Discovery Route, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
To date, that is still my favorite trip. It was scary.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
It was terrifying. It was gorgeous.
At one point, there was one night where the fog was so thick, we literally could not see the vehicle in front of us. No matter how close we were riding, it was so thick that we could not see the other vehicles. Even when we finally got out to camp that night and it was kind of late, you couldn't even see. Like, I couldn't see Jeremy standing off to the side of the Jeep when I was standing from the back cooking. I couldn't even see him at the driver. I'm sorry, the rear doors, because it was so thick. But I have to agree with that. Yeah.
But so if you are new to the channel, go back and watch that episode, because it's, like I said, it is my favorite. But I will tell you this. I'll tell you with a disclaimer. When we got started, my editing was shit. It's still not great, but it gets us by. But back then my editing was even worse and my videos were longer and you know, I thought more stuff needed to be in there. So cut me some slack when you watch that one.
Those are a little long, yeah.
So
Donna and Squatchy need to do a shoot together. Absolutely.
that would be phenomenal.
His hands are better than hers. We took her fingers away because she gets a little handsy. Eric Benner. Hi, here we are. Yes, wasn't Eric the one in that ride with us?
We met Eric in Linville. He had the pretty pup and the Ranger.
There we go. There we go. What do we do for a living? So I'm a certified personal trainer and I train women in the gym as well as virtually. And Jeremy?
I sell lumber drying equipment. So I basically sell machines that make wood hard. So I like to always say, I make wood hard.
And dry.
And dry.
And dry.
But no, so I'm traveling a lot, going to sawmills and things like that.
John Betts, do you have a wheel schedule for North Carolina? No, we don't actually. We just kind of up and go when we can. Because of his work, it does keep him on the road a lot. So like, for instance, he leaves Monday and he will come back Thursday. Literally the second that he gets home, he is getting out of his Jeep and into my Jeep for us to come to Invasion. So yeah, everything that we do has to be scheduled around his work schedule. So sometimes we know when he's going to be working and sometimes we don't. And so we just have to work around that. It's a challenge, but we love it because it allows us to do the things that we do. And his company is really awesome to him. So yeah.
TJ said we're sexy bees. Thanks, TJ.
Gosh, the comments jumped way ahead.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I want to take my dogs with me head off. How do you keep your pups safe? We actually don't take them off-road, Chris. We have someone that stays at our home. So we have someone that stays at our home and stays with our dogs. That's something that we're hoping to eventually change. But as of right now, that's just what we think is the safest. We've seen, some dogs are good with off-roading. Other dogs, we've got, especially one of ours is an old girl, and we just don't want to put her through that bouncing and banging on her joints and that sort of thing. So
we took them once to an FMC Overland event, and Maya was like, for 2 days, she was dead. It was hard on her. So
having 37-inch tires, do you wish you'd got them earlier? No, not necessarily, because I had no goal to go bigger with tires and gears. And actually, had this not happened, I would not have gone. Now, I'm not disappointed in them at all. I'm very, very happy with what we have. But had we not had the issue with the gears, I would have stayed and been just as happy with what I have. New the channel and loving down south.
Did you see who drives your favorite 2016 blue Tacoma?
Well, Spartan
Overland, of course, Jesse Maxey.
Have you ever been caught by someone in the nude? Actually, no.
Yeah, well, that one, yes.
What one?
The one that drove up to our campsite and decided to camp right beside us, and I covered up with a towel.
Oh, when we were doing the reviews.
Yeah, when we were doing
that
reviews.
It was weird.
It was really weird. I walked up in the town, and I was like, whoa, don't come down here. My wife ain't wearing any clothes, and I'm just holding the towel.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right, I'm just going to set up right here.
Like, and he's got 2 kids and everything. We're like, oh.
I'm like, you didn't hear what I said?
That. Tell them about the tick.
Oh no! Look. All right. Well, it's not funny because I got Lyme disease from this son of a bitch. So
well, I mean,
I don't know if that's the one that.
At least if you got Lyme disease, at least we can laugh about it. At least there's a good story.
It's like he got an incurable disease.
You're fine.
So naked camping is not without its dangers. So, I get home and we started doing little tick checks every time we got in. And, I get home and I don't know, somebody else was touching my stuff and they were like, wait a minute.
There's something there that's
Hold
not,
up.
There's something
wait
there. I'm like, there's something that's not normal. What is that? And I'm like, oh, babe, just take a breath. But there's a tick on your dick. You want
like if this is the head, he was right there, buried in.
You want to talk about somebody almost going into convulsions? He bends over the counter.
I couldn't breathe.
He's like, oh my God.
Did you?
Oh my gosh. You have to get it. Oh my God.
Look, did you ever watch Stand By Me? When the kids swim across the lake and they come out and they're covered in all the leeches and he sees it and he passes it. That was me.
100%. So now I'm crying.
Yeah, ladies, she's giggling like hell.
You're crying, okay? And he gives me a pair of tweezers, let me tell you, as I'm squalling and I can't even see what's going on. And he's like, get it. And then I'm like going towards it. And he's like, oh God, don't pinch the wrong thing. Funniest shit I think I've ever experienced.
There was nothing funny about it.
It was hilarious.
Because when you pull a tick out, the son of a bitch holds on his skin like it had a piece of me with it. He was not coming out by himself.
He was traumatized. And
I was.
Yeah, he was traumatized.
And then a year later, my face goes numb and I can't remember anything.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Bell's
from a
palsy.
dick tick.
Yep. All right. Black Mountain probably finished it off. Yes,
100%.
absolutely.
That was
it.
it.
We're sure of that. Gonna get in the woods more. What's with let's see, Loving the Secret. What? Oh, take out what beads is he talking about?
What?
Oh, the bead locks, maybe.
Where do you see him? Where do you see?
He said take out the beads.
Yeah, that's actually something we did. First, we had the bead locks balanced with beads,
gotcha.
And it was terrible. And then we had them balanced with weights.
Just weights.
But guess what? For some reason, they took 21 ounces to balance.
Each
so
one.
I don't think it was right, because the next person that bought those bead locks, smooth sailing, no issues. Yeah. So it's just one of those things. You know, everybody, all the mechanics said, when you change your Jeep, that's just how it's going to drive.
Yeah.
That's just how it drives now.
It's not supposed to drive that way. Okay, Artec Truss. Yep, that's what we did, Jamie. We love that. It looks really good. Outlaw Off-Road, great bunch of people. Absolutely love them. Man, they have just been amazing for us. And again, they're sponsoring our winch tonight, so kudos to them and thank you for that.
Check reviews. Good job.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with Naked. Georgia Traverse Trail. Yes, it's here's the thing. Georgia Traverse is very, very easy. And from what I understand, they've even gone back and cleaned it up more. So it's a very easy trail. It's definitely not what I would consider off-roading, but it's an excellent overlanding trail.
It's fun.
It is a fun trail. We did that on my birthday, and I think that I loved it so much because it was my birthday, and the company was Spartan Overland.
People.
I mean, we had such a damn good time. We laughed and laughed and laughed.
That's where I filmed the drunken review.
Yeah.
So, guys, again, if you're new, we were tasked by Streamlight. I mean, that's a huge company for a small-ass channel like us. They were like, you know what? You're a little different, so we think you'd be great. We want to see what you would do with our flashlight reviews. Well, that was a great idea in theory. But they didn't realize it was going to be over her birthday. And so we proceeded to drink a lot of bit. And so we filmed these reviews of 3 flashlights that were awesome. Every one of them is awesome. I still use them.
The funniest thing, if you'll go back and watch those, I think is there 3 reviews?
No, it's all those. Well, here's the thing. So here's what happened, guys. So we did the review, and this is when we were still working with Gear Report. And so I text the guy from Gear Report, Jeff, and I said, hey man, I did some reviews, but we were drinking pretty heavily, and I'm kind of worried about them. And I said, do you think I should publish them? And he said, if you are asking me this question, don't publish them. So Jeff had a really good answer. So what we did was we sat on the lights for a little bit, and then 2 months later, we went into the woods by ourselves and we did like real reviews. And that was a mistake on our end.
Because
that's not what we do.
It's not who we are.
You know, it's like, it's a great light. Great. It's bright. Look.
It shines.
Nobody watched that video.
It sucked.
We sent it to Streamlight. They didn't say anything back. They were just like,
okay, thanks.
No, we didn't get that. They didn't even say thank you. We just sent it to them, and it was like,
crickets.
Well, that's trash. So I'll tell you, 6 months later, I got ballsy, and I still had that drunk footage. So I was like, man, I think I'm gonna put it out. So if you go through our channel, there's a review called Banned Drunken Review. And something like we said we weren't going to do this. So if you want to see what I look like when I've had a little bit to drink, now I am offensive. So if you're offended easily,
do not watch this video.
Take your snowflake ass on, because that ain't the review for you.
But yeah, it's a great video. It's a good one. And this is where we'll go back to, if we ever do reviews for people or videos for people, if you can't accept us for who we are and how we are, well, then we're probably not the channel for you. But you just got to be ready.
Stick to Trail Recon. Or Lifestyle Overland.
Yeah. We're not laughing.
We love both of those channels.
We're not laughing at you. We're laughing with you, but we are laughing.
That is not,
of course you are.
That is not true. You're laughing at me. You didn't have a tick in your dick hole. So yeah, you're good. You're laughing at me.
Don says I'm crying here.
Don,
Chris Bruce,
it's
not letting us show it, but
you hit show.
I don't remember being told you got dick lime disease.
Can I say that? Can I be like, it's like, what's wrong with you? Why can't you think straight? I got dick lime.
I got dick lime.
Dick lime.
The trauma. Keister overlanding. You ever planning a big trip? Yes, absolutely. Actually, next week after we are pulling out from Jeep Invasion, we are headed to Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico for 16 straight days, sleeping in the Jeep the entire time. How much do lift gearing and 37-inch tires hurt your gas mileage as much as y'all travel? Actually, I've only been using it back and forth to work, which is about 20 miles one way. And I haven't noticed a change in my it hurting my gas mileage.
Re-gearing should have helped her gas mileage because now the engine RPMs are much lower. So if anything, this re-gear is actually helping mileage.
Nice. Your review made me buy that light bar headlamp. There you go.
Nice.
That's the one.
Hey, we're reviewing 2 more of those coming up.
Yeah,
so
we got a new company sending us some, so we're excited about those. The Dawn, they got me to get the ruck rack. Guys, if you have not seen a ruck rack, jump on there and go and check them out. We both have one of those, and that is going to be a huge piece of our equipment going to Utah and Colorado. There's no way that we can make this trip happen without that ruck rack.
You know my favorite part about the ruck rack? I'm just take 3 seconds, I promise. Every single nut, bolt, and washer comes from the USA. Not a single thing comes from overseas, up north or down south. It's all coming from the USA. Every single piece.
Are you guys from North Carolina? Yes, we are from North Carolina, Western North Carolina to be exact. I laughed hearing first meeting is y'all's West Virginia. FMC Overland Games. We also have a video about that, and David is talking about how funny that was, and it was pretty entertaining. That was a pretty cool trip.
They planned a cool trip.
It was FMC Overland Games, and so it was really cool to do that with people and with your Jeep and that sort of thing. Nothing more honest than drunken reviews. All right, so shouldn't have any more. Yes, Jason Morgan is the man. Hootie hoot. I think he's on here. We love Jason. Ruck Rack will be hauling my beer cooler next week. Exciting. All right, so looks like we are almost at 1 hour, and we promised we wouldn't keep you guys past an hour. So here are the rules for the winch. The way that this is going to be done is it's all going to be time-stamped based on the interwebs. Once you have to answer a question, we're going to give you the question, and the first person that responds correctly is the winner. Now, here's the thing. Once this we're live, and so we will say, okay, this is the first name that we see, but understand that that's preliminary because until
everything
YouTube updates and publishes, it may find that there was someone else that beat that timestamp. So while we will announce, okay, tentatively, this is the winner, once it actually gets posted and everything publishes properly, that winner could potentially be changed. So just know that that's the rule. The winner of the winch is going to, the winch is it is a
Warn VR Evo 10. It's actually the exact same winch that we are running on Bella. The only difference is the one we're running has synthetic. This one has a steel cable. So that is the only difference. I think the retail value on it is $650. So very, very nice winch. Outlaw Off-Road, man. I can't even believe that that they did that. So
kudos, a big thanks to Outlaw Off-Road of Charlotte for sponsoring this for us and for giving us the winch to give out to you all for being here tonight. And we really appreciate them. We appreciate their partnership, and we appreciate all that they've done for us, for the Jeep, and they've really taken care of us. And so, we look forward to many more experiences with them, and be sure to, they will be at Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion. So be sure to run by the Outlaw booth and give them some love, and, shake their hand and tell them to thank you for this and all that good stuff. All right. So
Out of the Woods is on here. I got to say, that's my first YouTube channel that I fell in love with. He's a woodworker. So if you haven't watched Out of the Woods Forestry on YouTube, make sure you give Nathan a follow.
All right. Who's ready for the question?
Ready?
All right. So tonight, some of y'all have already seen this. Tonight, Jeremy has changed his hat 3 times. Who can tell me what color that second hat was? Post the comment. Who knows what color that second hat was?
Oh, it looks like we got some answers. Holy crap.
Oh,
Holy
shit.
Wait, so somebody got some wrong ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's got blue. There was never a blue
You
hat.
needed to adjust your screen.
Yeah, right. There's a bunch of blue. There was never a blue hat. All right. So the colors he started, let's go ahead and pull them out. We started with
Started here.
Onyx Off-Road Black.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one was...
Well, the one that I ended with.
Yep.
Was this one.
Yep.
So, what color was the second one?
We had, and as of right now, it looks like Richard Benfield, you answered first with a white hat. So, Richard, we'll get up with you. Like I said, we'll make sure this is preliminary, make sure that everything publishes properly, all the timestamps come through properly, you know how the interwebs does their own magic. So, the second...
Man, you guys were fast.
I know, man. That stuff went...
Holy hell.
Super
Somebody
fast.
said unicorn. Oh, look, he got really specific.
Yes,
Holy
specific.
shit. Man, Cody, if you hadn't taken so much time to type out all those words, you might have been first.
I know, right? Hell, I don't need one like the video. All right, guys. Again, thanks so much for being here. We love your support. And if you want us to do this again, definitely give us some feedback on the video. Tell us what you liked, what you didn't like, what you'd like to see in the next video, what you'd like for us to talk about. Honestly, the next video, if we do it like in a month, it would be after we came back from our trip. And so we could definitely jump on here and give you guys some real insight on how the trip went. There will be videos of that trip. Our goal is to make at least 10 videos. We're going to be gone 16 days, and every day we're hitting a different trail. So our goal is to put out a minimum of 10 videos. Our first videos will be of Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion. We will actually be putting those out as they happen. So we get there on Friday. The goal is to put one out Friday night or Saturday morning. Another one for Saturday, put it out Saturday night, Sunday morning. So definitely jump on the channel.
Because if you ain't first, you're last.
Exactly. All right, guys.
So real quick, we hope you had fun, because this was fun for us.
Had a blast.
You know, I could go to a bar and do this, but man, you guys are so much nicer online. I thought I was going to get trolls or somebody was going to be like, hey, you're a fat dude. How did you get this one? But nobody did that, guys. You were super nice. So what do we got?
All right, guys. Well, we love you. We thank you for being here, and hope you have a great weekend. And until next time, peace out.
And we'll contact you for the winner.
Yes, we will. Peace out. Good night.